Shalom Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. By the way, before we get into our broadcast here, it is kind of a quick take of our newscast here tonight. We are watching Hurricane Irma. It will be moving northwards, expecting to make that turn and begin its northerly track. It has weakened only to 120 mile an hour winds and is expected to gain strength over the warm waters of the Gulf as it moves up towards Naples and Fort Myers, Florida there, where they're really expecting the brunt of the storm to hit and then skirt the western coast of Florida as it goes up. We will keep up with that news for you, let you know how that's faring out there. But right now I want to turn our attention to Syria and what's going on over there. A very serious situation. You might think for the Syrian government it's a victory, because we're finding out that the Syrian government there has, with the help of Russia, they have actually been able to take over the outskirts of Deir Ez Zor. They have broken the siege of ISIS in this region. And of course, as we reported the other day, there have been very interesting reports coming out of this part of the country there. Unmarked aircraft taking ISIS members and their families away from there. 20 of them, that is, were reported going away. But now the Syrian army has retaken the Deir Ez Zor districts that were held by ISIL. They are trying to take the town as well. But as I state, though, this may seem good at the moment right now, but there is a snag in the plans for the Syrian army with Russia helping them, because the United States is not going to allow the Syrian Arab army to cross the Euphrates River. Now, before I get into that issue there, let me take a quick look at something else here. NATO's chief, world is at its most dangerous point in a generation. And I think this is very important, even with this situation in Syria there, because of what Jens Stoltenberg has to say here. He says, exclusive, Jens Stoltenberg warns of a converging threats as Russia mobilizes estimated 100,000 troops on the EU's border. He goes on to say here, says that the Secretary General of the Military Alliance said that the sheer number of converging threats was making the world increasingly perilous, asking in a guarding interview whether he had known a more dangerous time in his 30-year career. Stoltenberg said it is more unpredictable and more difficult because we have so many challenges at the same time. We have a proliferation of weapons of mass destruction in North Korea. We have terrorist instability. We have a more assertive Russia, Stoltenberg said during a break from a visiting British troop stationed in Estonia. So again, Russia keeps getting thrown under the bus there by NATO and other allies there, demonizing Russia, that they're the big bad boogeyman. And no doubt the world, though it is true, he is right about one thing, there is a proliferation of nuclear weapons, and it continues to spread across the world there. And who else will end up with them? That's a danger in itself. But there again, Russia is definitely being demonized. Now, let's go to South Front. This is where they're saying that the U.S.-led coalition will not allow Syrian army to cross the Euphrates River in Deir Ez Zor, are reports coming out. It says, on Saturday, the U.S.-led coalition announced in an official statement that it will support the Syrian Democratic Forces and Deir Ez Zor Military Council advance towards Deir Ez Zor city. The U.S.-led coalition said that it will provide equipment, training, intelligence, logistics support, precision fires, and battlefield advice for the SDF and the DMC during the operation. The U.S.-led the coalition stressed that it will support the SDF until it fully captures the Kaaba River Valley. This could mean that the U.S. is not interested in capturing other areas in Deir Ez Zor Governorate. Now, but still, though, it still puts Russia and the United States basically at war, although it's a proxy war. They're not actually doing the physical fighting themselves, but they're using other militaries to fight the war between one another. Now, we say this, they say if the U.S. is not going to allow the Syrian Arab army to cross the river there, but looky here, Russia's already sent in the pontoons for the makeshift bridges there to be able to do exactly that. We saw this the other day. We shared that information with you, that they were moving these portable bridges to the Euphrates River. There were a lot of people wondering whether or not they would be able to make the bridge all the way across, but Russia has brought in the pontoons for it, these portable bridges, and they have set them up for the Syrian Arab army to do just that. So what's going to be next? It's kind of like a game of chicken. Who's going to call the hand on this? Will Russia make sure that the Syrian Arab army crosses this river? Or will the U.S. end up blowing up the bridge? It's a very troubling situation. This could easily get out of control as well, much like North Korea. if something were to go the wrong way, could all get out of control. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Shalom.